I want you to forgive me for not wearing my Sunday best. It isn't Sunday, and quite frankly, I don't give a shit. My name is John. Um, I live in my mother's basement. So what? I'm 28 years old. I suffer from what they think is rapid cycling bipolar. It means I'm mentally ill, people. I take drugs. I take a mood stabilizer. Big deal, right? A lot of people are sick. A lot of people need pills. A lot of people get through their days. I have anger issues. I don't always make good choices in life, you know? I'm not perfect. And I don't need this video to be an outpouring of support from the YWC to, oh, get better, you know, blah, blah, blah. I hope you're awesome in a week. And it takes years. I'm in therapy. I've debated doing partial hospitalization to get myself right. Point is, it's time to put on my big boy pants and to take care of myself. And that leads me to why I'm making this video in the first place. There's a lot of crap going on out there in the internet community. I saw some earlier myself. I was reading some posts in the British Fist universe. Somebody decided to attack one of my new friends. His name is William Smith. If you don't follow him here on YouTube, his username is BigDub360. I think I got that right. Or something to that extent. I follow him. He's on my list. I'll try to put a link to his channel in the description bar if I remember. Anyway, the point being is, the guy's just about as old as I am. Born August of the year after me. You know, we're older men. Him being 27. When I say older men, I don't mean like we're 80 and we need a walker. But, you know, we're old enough to not buy into the games and need to be calling people names on the internet anymore. Especially in an internet community that's supposed to be devoted to wrestling. Sharing ideas, opinions, trying to generate discussion. And that's what this William Smith guy is doing. He has a YouTube channel, that's what he does. When he asks for input for videos, you know, he's doing the same thing that a lot of us do when we don't have, you know, a set idea, or we just would like some interaction with the outside world to see who's actually paying attention that day. You know, to what I saw, the little snot-nosed kid, I think he's still in high school, and, you know, Lord save him, after I got on his case and told him that it was childish and all that, he deleted his post and it's gone. You can't see it there anymore. The proof is, you know, has been extinguished. But the point is, he attacked William Smith and he called him fat and he called him, you know, annoying and a bunch of other things. And it's just, it's bullshit, guys. It's bullying in its most simple form. And it's things that we don't need, especially in this internet community. And I don't care how old you are, you know, even 5-year-olds, you know, they're going to kindergarten for the first time and they're being taught to get along and to socialize properly, to not bully each other, because, you know, that can have really bad effects on people. And you think back to the first couple of seconds of this video, I'm one of those people. I have PTSD, you know. I'm pretty screwed up. You might not know it from, you know, looking at me for, you know, 10 seconds or not, but, you know, I've been in therapy for years. It hasn't really worked yet. I'm hoping it will soon. Since 2010, you know, I haven't really been the off the ropes show entertaining myself while you watch us. I've actually been trying to figure out what different kind of serotonin uptake, you know, inhibitor, or whatever the fuck they're called, SSRI pills, are going to make me, you know, feel normal again so that I can function. You know, I haven't really been able to work since about August. of 2010. Um, I did. I worked over the summer. I worked in 2011 for a little bit, for a few months, and it was torture. It was hell. There was a lot of confusion. There was a lot of rapid thoughts. I worked in the food industry. I worked in the restaurant business. I couldn't keep any of my, thinking straight. It was hard to keep up with orders. It was hard to just go into work, manic, depressive, fucking fits, just all the time. And the bullying that I received there for being on medication, for being in therapy, and for needing days off in order to go do that is a lot like what's going on now in these wrestling groups that I'm a part of. And I'm appalled. Just, I can't deal with it, guys. Like, I realize that I'm not 70 years old, and, I shouldn't be that grandfather type guy that's coming down and chastising people, but it seems to me that ignorant, younger, disrespectful people of this generation that seems to, be tied to their cell phones, to be checking Facebook all the time for every update, and have something, fast and snappy to say to anybody that has an opinion. They don't think about what their words really mean. And guys, professional wrestling is in a down period. I hate to tell you, but it's not as popular as it once was. I'm a remnant of that Attitude Era and that golden era. I was born in 1983. All right. When Hogan and Andre were fighting each other, I'm a prime, I'm a product of that era. When Macho Man and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat were having an epic match at WrestleMania 3, I was the kid that was, the super fan of that. I was the guy that was going through his teens when Rock and Austin were having, their huge rivalry in WWF and coming up and becoming megastars at the same time, which is something that we never, ever see in the business at the same time. And we got it with, we were lucky that we had the 80s golden era to kind of ride off the coattails with it. We had so many stars. But we've never seemed to develop the magnitude of stars that we did during the Attitude Era ever again. And wrestling has never been as popular as it was then, and as it seemed to trail off during the Ruthless Aggression Era. And, it came to a very steady die-off, not only with the death of Eddie Guerrero, but with Chris Benoit as well. That's your history lesson. You can choose to ignore it, or you can choose to listen to it and have it make sense. And why did I give the history lesson? Because you little shitheads that are out there just running your mouths for no good reason, that are causing other people, pain, mentally or emotionally, hiding behind your little computer screen, that don't have the friggin' guts to get on here and make a video and state your case, or to have an intelligent debate. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've made an audio, or made a video response to somebody where I talked about how I would do things differently, or I didn't agree with everything that they said. Or, I could say that my opinion differs, but I respect you as a wrestling fan. Just being a wrestling fan right now is important, because we're all we have right now in this community. Whether we're internet fans, whether we're YouTube wrestling community fans, whether you're watching the Off the Rope show, whether you're a wrestling Jesus kid, who gives a shit? You watch wrestling. That should be your one unifying theme. The bullying, the garbage talking back and forth between each other. Like, when the fuck are we going to grow up, guys? I understand there's a lot of fans out there that are 6 years old, but what the fuck kind of example are you sending them? Mr. Senior in high school, or Mr. I'm a freshman in college and I think I'm hot shit because I go out there and I call other people in the wrestling community fat. I know plenty of people in the wrestling community that have a thyroid problem and legitimately are, have a medical excuse as to why they're overweight. I'm overweight. I'm actually considered obese medically. I'm 246 pounds. I'm 6'3". And if you call me fat, I will wring your little fucking neck. That's what I will do to you. This bullying has to stop. It's unacceptable. It shouldn't be tolerated. And you're not teaching anybody that is out there reading these comments any better. You're just promoting this hostile atmosphere between wrestling fans. And to all the moderators of these groups out there, to all the Daniel Parkins and the NJs and the Reginas, Nature Girls, to all the Dustin Herondine, Dreamboy 899s out there, you got to be watching out for this stuff. We can't allow this to go along anymore. We have to sit there and, you know how WWE is always saying, don't be a bully, be a star? Well, it's time that we really kick this into high gear. Because I'm sick and tired of watching the guys that have an opinion, that are trying to state it, that are trying to be emotional about this sport, which is one of the only things that they have going on in their life, which doesn't suck for them right now, which even as WWE is a product that is trailing off, and it might not be at its peak and its prime. If that's something that they can look forward to every week, and if that's something that they want to get excited about, what the fuck gives you the right to try to come around and kill it for them? Now, I might be guilty of saying that yes, it's not as good as it has been, and they could do a lot better. But I'm not jumping down anybody's throat for being a fan. In fact, I'm trying to support TNA right now as best as I can and take my hat off to them and, cheer and applaud and do whatever I can at every single opportunity to make noise, to get them noticed, to bring more wrestling fans together, to bring attention to their product so that we can, have this unity, so that we can have this overwhelming sense of acceptance no matter what fucking show you're watching, no matter what skin color you are, no matter if you're a skinny little shrimp, if you're in the 5th grade, if you're in the 15th grade, if you live in your mother's basement and you're still 50 years old, it shouldn't matter. Everybody has a different walk of life. The idea here is that we all share the same passion. What we need to share is a little bit more consideration for each other. Okay? Because if we don't, the bullying, the name-calling, the taunting, the jeering, all that shit, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but, it wasn't all that long ago that this Batman movie came out, and some maniac decided to go into a theater, and he released tear gas, and he shot up a whole fucking theater. A bunch of people are dead. You know why? Because he was nuts. Do you know why he was nuts? It's because he didn't get help. And do you know why he didn't get help? It was because he was bullied, and he thought that the whole world was against him. I want to bring this thing full circle, okay? Because I know that some of you out there are going to be like, what the fuck does that have to do with me calling this kid an asshole in a wrestling community? Everything to do with that. Get off your little high horse for 10 seconds and take responsibility for your actions. Because you guys out there need to understand that everything that you say or do on the internet still has an effect on somebody else. Whether you know that person or you don't know that person, the other person can still read that and can still have feelings. It's not like there's fake people out there on the internet. Okay, life isn't full of just fake robot people that just happen to do things, and that's how you get your food at the grocery store. Okay, they're actually living, breathing people. Okay? Real people build houses. Just because you live in Florida and you don't know who these real people are that live in Canada that build the houses still get built. People still live in Canada. You might never know them, you might never meet them, but they're still there. And for every person that you're calling a fag or a homo, or, a butt-sucking idiot, or whatever you decide that you want to call them, not only are you hurting their feelings and making yourself look, really stupid in the process, but it's going to come back to you someday, because that's how karma works. Alright? And right now is really not the time. especially in the wake of all this violence that's going on with the Batman thing. You know, that movie, that tragedy. Call you what it will. I don't care. Alright, but this stuff where we're attacking each other for being wrestling fans just because we post something in a forum and somebody else doesn't like it. Look, I'll be the first one to admit, okay? I'm sick of John Cena. Jeff Hardy gets on my nerves. Randy Orton has never appealed to me. And I could care less about Triple H. Alright? But if somebody out there is a fan of those guys, all the more power to them because they're a wrestling fan. And we have something in common. And rather than sit here and bitch and moan and talk about our differences and sit here and to attack them personally, talk about how they're so black that, you know, they could block out the sun if they stand in front of it, or some other dumbass comment that makes me look stupid. Why would you say shit like that? Why would you be hurtful to somebody like that? People can't help the way that they are. They're born that way. Alright? Somebody gets into a car accident and they're paralyzed from the neck down because some other idiot ran a red light. You're going to call them fat? You're going to call them overweight? They're in a wheelchair. How are they going to work out? They're paralyzed. Think about it. A little bit of this. You need to take accountability and responsibility for your own words and actions. You need to understand the impact that it has on people out there. You need to start making the internet a better place to be and to socialize. Okay? Because there's a whole lot of you out there that are doing the exact opposite. And you're just bringing it down for the rest of us that would like to continue to use the internet and to talk to our friends and not have to jump in and play referee and not have to get you guys kicked out of our groups because you can't keep your mouth shut or don't have anything nice to say to other people. You don't belong in an internet group because you clearly can't respect anybody else. And I don't know where in the process of socialization, you know, between kindergarten and here, that, you know, you failed that whole treat others the way you want to be treated thing, didn't connect. But this is your reality check right now. You and me watching this video. I'm telling you right now as a wrestling fan that I support every other wrestling fan that tunes in. Just because I complain about how I don't like WWE's current product doesn't mean that people that watch WWE right now are going to get a brick through their window or bullied by me. That's not my position. That's not my problem. That's not my authority. Alright? You guys need to police yourselves a lot better out there. There needs to stop with this constant attack, this banter, this just useless arguing. Okay, I don't care if you're a CM Punk guy or a Daniel Bryan guy, or if you want Batista to come back, or, you know, if you think that John Cena is the new Hulk Hogan, or if you think that Hulk Hogan is the farthest thing removed from John Cena because John Cena doesn't have any charisma. It doesn't matter. If you're going to disagree about it peacefully. Because all this name calling and bullying and all this other stuff that's going on right now doesn't need to go on. That's had enough out of me. It's almost 20 minutes worth of me ranting about something that's bothering me. It's too much. I'm the Venti Kid. I'm live from my mother's basement. I'm really pissed, and I'm hoping that this video registers with a lot of other people, and that a lot of other people jump on this wagon and get the ball rolling so that we can enjoy being wrestling fans again. We can be proud to be wrestling fans again. And we cannot go after each other's throats or be going after blood for being wrestling fans. Good night.